Hello my sweeties and welcome back to my channel. If you don't already know me, my name is Celise and thank you for joining my spooky little family. In today's video, we are talking about weapons. Let's get into the video.
Hey, Spooky.
Hi. Wow. Long time no see.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
You want to tell the spooky little fam what you've been up to?
Yeah, sure. So I have been on vacation. I've been doing a little soul searching.
Wow.
Many people would say, Cornelius, why would you need to do soul searching? You are a soul. But it's important. It's important for people to get out, see the world, touch grass, I kind of did a little bit of traveling, a little backpacking around the East Coast.
Right.
My destination, I went to Boston. Right, it's been a while since I've been in Boston. Last time I was there, they had that big party. The shit was tea. But anyway,
Wow.
It still sucks.
Yeah, wow, what a place.
Not really a fan. I've always been a Brooklyn boy, to the end of me. But it was nice to go there. It got a little crazy, though. They do get rowdy, I'll give you that. They get super rowdy out there. It was a lot of fun.
Wow, okay.
It was like a movie. It was like, you remember the movie Project X?
That movie's iconic.
Yeah, it was nothing like that. But I did get super drunk. I got super drunk. I admittedly streaked across a neighborhood at like 2 a.m. And woke up in some random guy's basement. And then I got arrested. But they didn't hold me overnight because they couldn't tell if it was me or not in my ID. The picture's a little old. I think I have a different haircut or something like that.
Wow.
Anyway, speaking of running around somebody's neighborhood at 2 a.m. and ending up in somebody's basement, do you want to tell us what this one's about?
Directed by Zach Kreger, starring Julia Garner, Josh Brolin, and Austin Abrams, and also Gary Christopher, Weapons follows a young school teacher whose entire class mysteriously vanishes on the same night at the same time. When the community begins accusing her, she's forced to unravel the dark secrets of one of her former students.
Just to clarify, Gary Christopher is the child. I know that name does not sound like a child's name.
Yeah, so I just learned about 2 seconds ago when I said it that our little guy who plays Alex, his name is Gary Christopher.
Gary is a name that I would only assume that you can get once you turn 50. Like a pension, something like that.
Crazy work.
Anyway, so what'd you think about this one, Spooky?
Oh my god. Okay, so we are no stranger to Zach Kreger about 2-ish years ago. 2-ish, I think.
2023, right?
Yes, 2023.
Psych! That's the wrong number!
We got Barbarian. And we liked Barbarian. Some people didn't like Barbarian. Really liked Barbarian. But was really hoping to see more from Kreger and see him do something different. And we finally got the new Kreger film. And that is this one, which let's talk about it real quick, because originally when Weapons was announced, I was very, very excited because Pedro Pascal was actually signed on to be in this film. And so me and like every other girl in the world were very excited and talking about it on Twitter and like, oh my god, what do you mean? Pedro Pascal in horror, oh my god. Something that's not The Last of Us, oh my god. And then Pedro Pascal had to drop out due to scheduling conflicts, and I believe like the strike was going on at that time too, so there was like a lot going on. Which bummer. But I do think that Pedro Pascal was probably supposed to play Josh Brolin's part, who I still think did fabulous, even though he kind of looks like Kurt Russell. So
I think Pedro Pascal would have brought more of a softness to it, which would have been nice. Don't get me wrong, but I think I kind of, I don't know. I shouldn't say I prefer. Because I only saw the movie one way, of course. But I don't know. Maybe now that I think about it, do you think he would have been right for that? I don't know. I mean, he would have been great. Obviously, he's a great actor, but I think it'd be too Pedro Pascal for me to like watch the movie. You know what I mean?
see, I think that's only because he's become so huge. I mean, he's been huge for a while, but like now he's really, really, really huge.
That's true.
So I think maybe that's why you feel that way. But after seeing The Materialists, I think Pedro Pascal can do anything. So speaking about all of that, let's dive right into our performances because we have some good ones. Actually, all of them are really good. So let's talk about Miss Julia Garner, who we're both big fans of.
Woo!
We love her.
Yes.
A win for
Wowzers.
Miss Garner. Everybody, hold on. Everybody, a round of applause for Miss Garner. Listen to me, you guys. She's making a name for herself in the horror world. But thank God my girl got a project that is good, okay? Because we're not talking about Woof, man, okay? Woof. We're not talking about that one. And we're not talking about Apartment 7A, okay?
Oof. And thank God they didn't make her somebody's mom, finally.
Oh, yeah.
Like-
but she's still a teacher.
I know, it's close, it's close. I mean, if you think about it, the only role she's ever been young in was always Ox.
Yeah, but in Apartment 7A, she's not somebody's mom, actually. She's like...
That's the whole point of the movie, she's gonna
she's a
be somebody's
dancer.
mom.
Oh, well, yeah. Oh, yeah, she is pregnant. Yeah, you're right. You know, I want Julia Garner to be fun and flirty and have a good time. And, like, I don't want to see her always play a mom, okay?
Honestly, one of my favorite scenes in the film was the scene at the bar where she actually gets to be flirty and cute and, like, you see her as a person and not just her dealing with trauma.
Yes.
Well, I guess she technically is dealing with trauma still, but you know what I mean? Like, you get to see a little bit of her personality.
Yes. Actually, you learn, like, a lot about her in that scene. And that scene is so short, and that's just testament to the writing of this movie because you see that scene and you already know, like, 5 things about this character. Yeah. It's pretty great. I want to talk about Josh Brolin real quick. Big fan. Kind of looks like Kurt Russell with it. I think he did a great job too. His character is obviously going through a lot. Honestly, all the characters are going through a lot in this movie. It was interesting, his dynamic, seeing how him and Julia Garner's character kind of play off of each other later in the movie. And I really liked just how he played the part. I think it was really good. But yeah, all of the actors are great. I love the guy who plays Paul as well. I don't know how to say his name.
Oh yeah, Han Solo.
Alden Ehrenreich.
It sounds like I'm casting a spell.
I'm so sorry.
Respectfully. He's such a good actor.
You're so good. That mustache was a paid actor. I will learn how to say your name. Great job. The star of this movie for me is Austin Abrams. That little one right there is a damn star, okay? And I'm so happy to see him winning, okay? He was in Euphoria. Ooh. And he's been in a couple other things that I've seen that really haven't, like, done that well. He was in a TV series that was about the Strand bookstore. Like, I think that got canceled, or it was only 1 season. I don't know. But you know what? I'm so happy to see him win. He was really great. His character is kind of a mess, and he's basically just playing like a junkie, and he does a great job. Like everything, the body language, everything. It was a real performance. I really appreciated it a lot. And then, of course, we have to talk about this queen because you guys know we're here, we're queer, and this character feels very kooky, queer, kind of long legs vibe. we have to talk about Amy Madigan, who plays Gladys. I love Miss Gladys, okay? When Gladys comes in, she is the strangest character I've ever seen. And I gotta tell you guys, this is why I was saying the script is so good. I did not see that character coming at all. This level of kooky and weird, I love it. She's like somebody's like really weird Thea that nobody talks to. You know, I love her. I was obsessed with her. I honestly want I just want Gladys. Like, can we get her in something? Also, one of my friends actually, shout out to Tyrone. He mentioned that he would love to see a movie with Longlegs and Gladys on a road trip. And can't you picture that? That's incredible. Can we all get that shit?
So yeah, no, solid performances. Why don't we get into a little bit of the story? Because we've been beating around the bush, right?
Yeah, let's not do that. Sorry. I had a great time, and this is a very different film. I was pretty surprised at how insanely funny this movie is. It had me dying laughing.
Yeah.
For a majority of the runtime. And that didn't even affect any of the scares, which love that. He really is so great at balancing those two. And he does it in a fun, kooky way.
You know, it's interesting because I feel like his blend of horror and comedy is almost reminiscent to me of the way Korean films blend horror and comedy.
Yeah, I can see that. This kind of felt like that. And I love Korean horror films. So I noticed that this movie, when I was getting tickets for it, there were showtimes for 2:17 p.m. And I was like, oh, surely that's a mistake. I thought maybe it's supposed to say 2:15 and they had a little error. Listen, I use Regal, okay? And sometimes the app is a little bit glitchy.
Regal.
So I was like, oh, they made a mistake. They made a boo-boo. And then I realized they didn't. And that was part of the whole marketing for the film because the kids go missing at 2:17 a.m. But also 2:17 a.m. is significant to Zach Kreger in a much more real way, a very sad way. So Cornelius actually told me about this because I had never seen The Whitest Kids You Know, and I also have never seen Miss March. So
yeah, I mean, I'm sure most of the people know, but if you don't, unfortunately, we lost Trevor Moore a couple years back on August 7th, 2021 at 2:17.
Yes.
He fatally fell off a balcony. He and Zach Kreger were the big leads of Whitest Kids You Know and Miss March, and he was phenomenal. He has some iconic sketches. You know, it was obviously very impactful for Zach Kreger, and he makes a lot of references to Trevor in this movie.
Yeah.
Which I found really interesting and sad. I mean, there's a weird throwaway scene where one of our supporting characters and his husband are eating dinner and they have 7 hot dogs. And that's a reference to a joke that Trevor Moore made in one of their sketches. And little things like that throughout the movie. And it's really sad to see.
Yeah. I know that Zach Kreger mentioned that he was writing this film during grieving that whole situation. And I think that comes through. But let's talk more about our story.
You know, Zach Kreger is not one to, and this is sometimes to a fault, and we've even criticized him for some of this, he's not one to shy away from political themes or social themes.
Yes.
We've definitely critiqued his approach to it. You know, we had some loving and some not so loving words about Barbarian and his portrayal of the experiences of women. But overall, like, it comes from what seems to be a good place for the most part. You know, maybe a little up his own ass, but respectfully. You know, he's doing the good deeds. So, you know, I'm not gonna shit on him. But this one was interesting, right? Because it's a lot more thematically singular, right? It's kind of almost exclusively about violence in schools, specifically of the kind with certain types of weapons. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, which I actually didn't really realize that until after we got out of the theater and started discussing, and then it all made sense to me. I think on a second watch, I'll pick up on that more, but there actually were some things that kind of seemed like it was obviously about that. There's like a shot of the house, and we see like a giant gun over it. And our little guy, Gary Christopher, who plays Alex, is also going through like bullying in school, and you know, the kids are not very nice to him.
I think he really stepped up his ability to weave social commentary into his stories. But then there were some things that were a little weird, like the weird dream sequence with the AR-15. I mean, everybody in the theater laughed when that happened, so...
It was very off-putting.
Yeah, and it just looked kind of bad, and, like, obviously you know why, but I'm gonna give him the pass for that one weird imagery. But yeah, I thought he did a fantastic job about that specific issue.
Yeah. I guess also... like, what I was thinking before really... Because I feel like for me... with a new film, it takes me, well, with any film, it takes me a few days thinking about it to start piecing things together. I don't immediately, like, piece things together as I'm viewing something, especially, you know, films that are, like, really layered. So initially, I was like, oh, it's called Weapons because they're using the kids as weapons.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes,
Which,
Spooky.
like, yeah.
Yeah, good job, everybody.
Good job. That's my little, like, second grade analysis.
I think the movie was about bad people.
Yeah. But after thinking more about it, obviously, there's a lot of metaphors in the film, and I think it could be read in multiple ways. But, yeah, what's happening? This movie, the way it's structured, is not usually something I like. So the movie is not told in chronological order.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that doesn't work for me. Here, it 100% works. I actually think it makes the movie a lot more enjoyable.
I agree. It was a fairly non-intrusive, non-linear story.
Yeah, and it handles everybody well because there's so many people.
It gives us a lot of really fun, like, you see one side of the story and then you see somebody else's side. Yeah, I love that.
You see different perspectives. Yes. So now we can talk about our favorite, like, scenes that stood out to us without being spoilery. Mine is not a spoiler. My favorite scene has to be when it's in James' perspective, everything that happened between him and Paul. Once it goes to his perspective, I thought it was really great. I kind of have two favorites, but one of my favorite scenes is him initially kind of getting caught trying to break into this place.
Yes.
And then there's another scene still in his perspective when he goes into the park and goes into his tent and Paul follows and something really icky happens. Yeah, everything between James and Paul was actually some of my favorite parts of the movie. I just will say, if you're like me, and you have a needle phobia, scared of needles entering anywhere, be aware.
Oh my God, I know.
Be aware.
I gotta say my favorite scene was when Justine is kind of snooping on Alex's house and falls asleep in the car.
Oh yeah, that's a great scene.
That was one of the scariest sequences in a movie in a couple of years for me, honestly.
That was a great scene. It was great at building tension. It was super quiet.
Nice
so it
oneer.
was so scary. Yeah, it was a oneer. It was great. It was really great. I actually really love that scene too. I have to talk about one sequence that I did see the behind the scenes of because it was kind of going a little viral on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
And I shared it on my story. It's when Justine runs into the gas station store. And then you see the behind the scenes and it's like the guy holding the camera and he's on fucking rollerblades. Like, killer. I fucking love movies so much. Amazing work.
Fucking nerd. There were a bunch of really great tracking shots like that. There's the one in the liquor store where Paul's fiance is like following her and goes to beat the shit out of her.
I
Great
love
scene.
that one. I'm a big fan of tracking shots. Love it. Also, I'm just gonna say it.
Speak your truth.
Of course, one of my favorite scenes was when Justin Long came out of nowhere and was in the movie. Yeah, that was crazy. They hid that so well because I didn't even know that. He closes the car door, turns around. Oh my God, it's Justin Long. Do you know how excited I got? You can ask Cornelius. I like
Yes, you
beaming,
did.
blushing like if that's my boyfriend or something. I was like, oh my God. Right? Like screaming in girl. Okay, that's my one.
It was
You
so
know.
embarrassing.
And he only had like 2 lines and I don't even care. Thank you, Zach Kreger. Hire him forever. We love it. I need it all the time. Thank
29
you.
years old, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, what are you gonna give this one?
Ooh, what am I gonna do? Weapons by far is at the top of horror films this year for me. I am going to be giving Weapons 4.5 levs out of 5. The only reason it's not a 5 is because there were some things, like I mentioned earlier, that I think I didn't really understand. So it probably will be a 5 upon a second viewing. But for now, it's a 4.5.
It's good to be back and to celebrate. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to agree and give Weapons 4.5 levs out of 5. I really like this one. There's still some rough around the edges aspects that I think Zach Kreger is shedding, right, from Barbarian. And if he's going in the same trajectory, his next movie is going to be an absolute 5. And I'm really nitpicking here, right? 4.5.
You're really critiquing.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by what he did, and I'm really excited to see whatever he works on next.
Yes, this was very, very impressive. Dare I say it's more impressive than Barbarian?
Oh, easily. And I 100% recommend it, and definitely go see it in the theaters.
Yeah, you have to. All right, you guys. Well, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe as it really helps me a lot. And be sure to click that little notification bell to be up to date every single time I upload. And let me know in the comments if you watched Weapons yet. What were your thoughts? If you plan on watching it, what were some of your favorite scenes? I'd love to talk about all of it. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.